Once upon a time, there was a child named Isabella who lived in a charming house by the sea. The house had a big garden with white fences, and Isabella lived there happily with her family. Flowers bloomed around the house, birds chirped, and the sound of the waves always brought peace to her ears. But this house had a secret that no one knew. There was a room in the house that no one dared to enter. This room had been locked since the day they moved in. One day, as Isabella and her family were having dinner, a sudden storm broke out outside. The wind was so strong that the roof of the house shook and the windows rattled. Isabella was a bit scared of the storm, but being with her family made her feel safe. However, in the middle of the night, when everyone was fast asleep, Isabella was suddenly awakened by a noise. The sound was coming from the locked room. Curiosity got the best of her, and Isabella quietly got out of bed. She tiptoed down the hallway. The howling wind outside almost drowned out the sound of her racing heart. When she reached the locked room, she heard a faint tapping from behind the door. Isabella felt a shiver run down her spine, but she couldn't resist moving closer to the door. Just as she touched the door, it creaked open on its own. Isabella stepped back in fear, but something seemed to be pulling her inside. When she entered the room, it was pitch black, but as soon as she stepped inside, an old lamp on the wall flickered on, casting a dim light. In the middle of the room, Isabella saw a large chest, covered in dust as if it had been there for years. She cautiously approached the chest and slowly lifted the lid. A strange, musty smell of the sea mixed with the scent of moss wafted up from the chest. Inside, Isabella found an old map, adorned with odd, intricate patterns. The map showed a hidden path that led through the nearby forest. It led down to the edge of the ocean. On the map, the words "Follow at midnight" were written. Isabella quickly took the map and left the room. She returned to her own room and hid the map under her bed. That night, she couldn't sleep at all. In the morning, she thought about showing the map to her family, but something held her back. Maybe this was a mystery she needed to solve on her own. The next night, Isabella took the map and ventured outside. The sky was dark once again. The wind from the sea sent chills down her spine. She followed the map into the forest as she walked among the trees. It felt like the forest was growing darker with each step, and the sounds were becoming more and more muffled. Finally, Isabella reached the place marked on the map and found herself at the edge of the ocean. The ocean was rough and dark. The moonlight shimmered on the surface of the water. Isabella noticed something shining on the shore as she got closer. She found a small bottle. When she opened the bottle, she discovered an old, broken seashell inside. But this was no ordinary seashell. A whispering voice came from the shell. "Go back." The voice said, "You don't belong here." Isabella felt as though the voice was coming from deep within the dark waters. At that moment, a massive shadow rose from the ocean. It was a gigantic sea creature. Its eyes glowed, and its enormous teeth gleamed in the moonlight. The creature was rushing toward Isabella. Terrified, Isabella dropped the map and started running. The creature emerged from the water and began to chase her. All she could think of was getting back to her house. She raced through the forest and finally reached her home. She slammed the door shut behind her, panting and out of breath. The next morning, everything seemed calm again. But Isabella knew that what she had experienced was not just a bad dream. The door to the room where she had found the map was locked once more. The map and the seashell were gone. From that night on, Isabella never went near the ocean's edge again, because she knew that a secret still lay hidden in the depths of the sea, a secret that she must stay far away from to avoid disturbing it ever again.